the image that always comes to mind for me is walking across a swamp of dirty water where there's stone pathway underneath. I can feel out with my feet if the next thing I'm standing on is, well, water or crocodile or solid ground. And I'm always searching for that sense of solidity.
There's a presupposition in what you're saying that there is a path forward.
I would say that I have no idea
whether that's truth.
Right. Well, I think that's akin in some ways to your claim that you're attempting to be directed by as close as you can manage to divine inspiration when you're writing.
So, but I don't want to imply that there was anything mystical about it, or that every word was, chosen by God.
There is something, I suppose, mystical about that intuition that there's a distinction between words that are false and words that are true.
Yeah.
And it isn't easy exactly to describe how you know the difference.
It feels like something that it's an inner knowing, a sense of things. But as I say, it kind of became pointed with Letter to the American Church because of the seriousness of what I was writing. The YouTube canceling your conversations. How extraordinarily preposterous and sick is that? It's mind-bending that in the West, we would have some arbiters out there deciding what is okay and what is not okay. So it is, on the one hand, deeply offensive to me in that way. As a Christian, it's offensive to me because I believe that we are all free to speak truth. So the idea that we would be alive at a time in the West where in places like Canada and America and the West, somebody would dare to be shutting down what you and I and most people know are perfectly wonderful conversations. They had less than no point. But of course, there's a good dose of fascism in there. They don't believe in freedom. They have an agenda and they have tremendous power, which they are now using because, as we all know, they are scared to death of the truth. But people with eyes to see, people like Dietrich Bonhoeffer, they could smell this. They said, if you follow the dots, they lead in this direction. The people who are seizing power now and being allowed to seize power now by cowardly people, by confused people, those people trying to seize power, when they get the power, they're going to use it for very wicked ends. Elites, the globalist cultural elites today, are working with the same presuppositions. They couldn't care less about the things that most of us would take for granted, the dignity of the human being, the sanctity of life, all of these things that people have lived for and died for.